Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and get started on our project. So I'm going to open up Commander. Okay, and obviously you can use whatever command line tool you want. Alright, and we're going to go to, let's see, now with Commander, if you want to go up a folder, you can just do Control-Alt-U, which is really cool. So we're going to go up to the C drive, and then into xampp/htdocs. Alright, and from here we're going to run composer create project Laravel /Laravel, and then we'll name it. I'm going to call it, let's call it Photo Show. Alright, so that'll go ahead and create that. Now we need to set up our vhosts and our host file like we do with every project. So let's go to, we want to go to our Windows, not Windows, what am I doing? We're going to XAMPP and then Apache. If you're not using XAMPP, go to wherever your Apache folder is. And we're going to go to conf and then extra and open up vhost.conf. Alright, and I'm going to open that with Notepad. Alright, so down at the bottom here, this is actually a brand new virtual host file, so I'm going to copy that. Get rid of these comments right here. And then all we need in here is the server name and the document root. Alright, you want to uncomment those. Okay, and then for the document root, it's just going to be htdocs for this first one. Sorry about that. And then the server name is going to be localhost. Alright, so we want to keep that one there, and then we're going to copy this. And then this one is going to be htdocs/photoshow/public. Alright, and then for the server name, we just want that to be, let's say, photoshow.dev. Alright, and we'll save this and close it up. And now what we want to do is open up Notepad as administrator. So I'm just going to go down here and type in Notepad. Okay, and we're just going to run as administrator. And then we want to open the host file. So go to open. And on Windows, it's going to be in the C drive, Windows System 32, and then drivers, etc. And then we want to select all files and open up hosts. And then from here, we're going to put in 127.0.0.1, which is your local host. And then we also want 127.0.0.1, and then the server name, which is going to be photoshow.dev. Alright, and we'll save that. So now that that's all set, we just need to restart Apache. So I'm going to open up my XAMPP panel. Say yes. Alright, and then we just want to stop Apache. And then start it back up. Okay. And then that's all set. So now we should be able to go to, what was it? Photoshow.dev. And there's our application. So let's go ahead and open up Atom. And then we're just going to add that folder, which is in, let's see, it's going to be in our htdocs and Photoshop. Alright, so now we're ready to get started. So what I usually like to do first is create the controllers, and we're basically going to have an albums controller and a photos controller. So let's go to Commander here, and we're going to cd into Photoshop. Alright, and let's do PHP artisan, and then we want to make a controller, and this is going to be called albums controller. Alright, and then we'll do the same thing for the photos controller. Okay, and now if we look in our app folder and then HTTP controllers, you'll see we have those two files. Oops, why is that so small? Alright, so they're just basically empty classes. So now what we want to do is create the models and also the database tables through migrations. So let's go back here and say PHP artisan, and we're going to do make model, and this is going to be for album, and then I'm going to add -m to create the migration. Alright, and then we're going to do the same thing once that's done. Alright, so now let's do make model, and this one's going to be photo. Alright, so now we want to edit those two migration files. So we'll go to database, migrations, and let's first go to the albums table. And by default, we're just going to get the ID and some timestamps. We want to add a couple things here. Alright, so the album will have a name. So let's say table string, and it's going to have a name. Alright, and then it's also going to have a description for the album, and for that I'm going to use the text type and then change this to description. Alright, and then it's also going to have a cover image, so this is going to be a string as well. It's just going to be the file name, and we'll say cover underscore image. Alright, and that should do it. So we'll save that, and then let's go and open the photos table. And for this we're going to have an integer field for the album ID, because we're going to create a relationship between the two tables. Alright, so table integer, and let's say album underscore ID. Okay, and then we're going to do table, let's do table string, and this is going to be photo, so this will be the name of the photo. Alright, the file name actually, not just the name. And then let's also do a title for the photo, which will also be a string. Okay, and I also want the size, because that's pretty easy to get, so we might as well store that as well. Size, and then let's also do description. Alright, and that's going to be a short field, so we'll just keep string. And that should do it. Let's save it. And now we need to run these migrations, but before we do that, we first need to add our database info and actually create our database. So let's go to localhost /phpMyAdmin. And let's see, we're going to create a new database, and let's call this photo show. And let's go over here and add in our parameters. So the database is photo show. The username for me is going to be root, and then the password, make sure you use your own password. Alright, now like with all of the other applications we've built, we have to go and add that value in the provider to stop us from getting that error about the length. So we need to go to providers and app service provider, and let's see, we need to bring in the schema package. So let's say use illuminate and /support /facades/schema. Alright, and then we want to go into the boot function here and just say schema, and then default string length 191. And when you're watching this, you might not have to do this anymore. So now let's go to Commander, and we're going to run PHP artisan migrate. Alright, so it looks good. Let's go back to PHPMyAdmin and go to our database, and you'll see we have a where is it, albums, with all the fields that we added, and then we have photos with all of these fields. Alright, so now that that's all set, our database tables are there and we're connected, and we're going to, in the next video, start to work on our views and layout and all that. And then we'll get to uploading images.